We're only as happy as we are grateful. It was a regular 1993 Sunday in Kutztown, Pennsylvania, a small college town surrounded by cornfields and heifers. 16-year-old me is sitting in church. A few minutes before the service begins, a new family of 7 enters the plain brown chapel, like a Renaissance parade for short, beautiful nobles. My slightly older brother, Sean, is happy for a few more young men his age in our small congregation. Of course, he only noticed them after he peeled his eyes from the beautiful blonde in the red dress. The other boys my age, Seth Thompson, Ray Griffin, Matt Hinkle, and Jason Sipos, never admitted it out loud, but I always suspected that they were also a little starstruck by Bonnie Bailey. Her bangs were tall, her eyeshadow was vibrant, and her smile sat perfectly between 2 of the cutest cheeks ever. Standing a little behind my father after the service, trying not to stare, I knew in that moment that something significant was about to happen, something that would change my life, even save my life. Not for the last time, however, I missed my moment. I blame hormones. They do really funny things to guys that age, especially when standing close to serious hotness. I'm pretty sure I read in a book once where the leading man pretended not to like the beautiful lady, so she followed him around trying to win his affection. That, I mused, seemed like pure genius, and the exact right thing to do in this situation. So I mumbled hello in kind of a aloof way, and then sauntered over to my buddies, confident that the young lady in red would soon find me irresistible. I was young, give me some slack. Plus, I had a girlfriend at the time, and I needed to play it cool. I don't remember a whole lot else from that morning, and she claims to this day that it was a white dress. But 5 years later, as I knelt across from Bonnie at the altar waiting to be married, it occurred to me that God gave me a second chance at my moment. This perfect moment, surrounded by family and friends in a room all of white, presented a new adventure as man and woman bound together by God and love and hope. Fast forward 17 years to August 12th, 2010. Bonnie left the Rascal Flatts concert on a high. She called me that night, giggling, all starstruck. "Happy birthday, Dave. Thanks for letting me enjoy your birthday present." She hung up, and I walked back lonely to my hotel room in downtown Seattle. I'd gotten the concert tickets back in July. It wasn't every year that Rascal Flatts came to Hershey, Pennsylvania, so we weren't going to miss it. 10 years earlier, we had fallen for their hit I'm Moving On, like pretty much everyone else in America, and we couldn't wait to celebrate my birthday a day early at their show. But 2 weeks before the big night, I found out that my work required a trip to Seattle. I could not believe it. I was going to miss them after all. In the days before I left, she teased me saying, "Oh, have fun in a suit while I'm singing from the cheap seats." It would be a night to remember. I knew that was true, but not exactly how true, until she called me early the next morning. "Dave, something's wrong. I can't move my legs. There's burning pain in arms and legs, and I can't get out of bed. I'm scared." I listened quietly, knowing that there was nothing I could do from Seattle. I had to get home, and then we'd figure it out. But we didn't figure it out. Her symptoms got worse. The next 6 months were a blur of tears, frustration, and pain. Doctor after doctor said they just didn't know what was wrong. My mom came over all the time, and my mother-in-law actually moved in with us to help with our 4 young boys while I tried to stay on top of a demanding job. We tried Western medicine. We tried Eastern medicine. We tried everything in between. We learned a great deal about the human body. Ultimately, we settled numbly into routine where I bumbled around trying to cook and clean and shop and do laundry, and she tried to stay out of the dark places where her mind would often wander. Over time, Bonnie found some relief and some answers, though nothing that came close to a return to her formerly super self. The beautiful mother of our 4 sons had always been super mom and super wife, full of energy, strong and loyal, Somewhere along the way, though, we realized that Supermom and Superwife was gone forever. I don't recall the exact moment when it hit me. One day I just knew. She would never again fly faster than a speeding bullet or leap over tall buildings. No more family tennis games or long walks through the park. No more jumping on the trampoline with her sons. She would sit and watch while the boys learned to ride a bike, rollerblade, or swim. She took humiliating rides through the grocery store on one of those electric scooters while the boys loaded up the cart. And she blinked away tears as I pushed her in a wheelchair through the sparkling Christmas-time streets of New York City. Her strong body, the ace card that she played through childbearing and rearing for 11 years, gave out. She was going to be a new, different Bonnie. After the panic of the first 6 months, it was time to reorganize our family. I sat Eric, Ethan, Nick, and Sam around the table to figure out a way to tackle the work of running the house. Their eyes were full of intent as we agreed on their new responsibilities. And, to their eternal credit, those little men took up the burden of a mother who wished for anything else but this. We slowed down while we learned new parts. No more sports teams or extra activities. More meals together, more praying, more hugs and thank yous. I got a little better at most of the household chores, except for grocery shopping, which I still hate. Our family lifted life together. Right when we had started getting a handle on our new life, our oldest son, Eric, aged 10, suddenly began suffering the same symptoms as his mother. Burning pain, migraines, almost total loss of physical strength and coordination. But this time we didn't fall apart. Bonnie's illness prepared us for Eric's. So once again, sat around the table with my remaining healthy sons, age 4, 6, and 8, and asked for their help. And they gave it. 13 years later, it doesn't feel foreign or undeserved anymore. Bonnie and Eric aren't better, as our well-meaning friends always ask. Not physically, anyway. But in a way, we're all better now. Our family is a better family. We have a keen sympathy for people whose bodies don't quite work right. We're more patient. We're more grateful for things and people. Frankly, we're happier. Now, the Vasileiros family origin story isn't all that special. I'll bet each one of you has a story full of ups and downs, victories, losses, smiles, and tears, because that's life. Our choice is never whether we have to face challenges or not. It is whether we can remain grateful while we struggle. Find what you're grateful for and anchor to it. It could be family, or a strong, healthy body, or a job that provides, or a sport you love, or a special relationship, or even a faith in God, or simply the beauty of the world around you. Repeat in your mind every day the things that you are grateful for. Tell your family and friends out loud and watch the surprised look on their faces. Then see them smile and nod and agree that indeed we do have much to be grateful for. We are only as happy as we are grateful, my friends. Merry Christmas from a very grateful Vasileiros family.